right, here we go. Teams from Cleveland Heights, Cloverleaf, and Revere compete on the Nordson Academic Challenge Championship Show. Here we go. Hi, everybody. I am Rob Powers. Welcome to the big finale. After 20 weeks and 60 teams, we are down to 3 schools today. One will walk away as your new champion. Let's start by taking a look at the final top 5 standings. Congratulations to Jackson, finishing 5th, receiving a grant of $2,000, and to Gilmore, which will receive a grant of $3,000 for a 4th place finish. Today's championship match will be for a share of $15,000 in grant money from Nordson. So once again, let's welcome back Cleveland Heights, Cloverleaf, and Revere. Yeah. All righty. Let's get it going now. We're going to start, as always, with the lightning round. All 3 teams compete in this round. We award 20 points for a correct answer. We subtract 20 points for an incorrect answer or no answer. Let's start every team with 100 points. An even dozen. Not everything is short and simple. Identify the following words and names that are exactly 12 letters long. Each answer has exactly 12 letters. Set? Here we go. This Renaissance Italian artist painted the Sistine Chapel. Revere.
Michelangelo.
That is correct. This is what the I stands for in the government's CIA. Cleveland Heights.
Intelligence.
That is correct. This is someone who writes beautifully with a special pen or brush. Revere.
Calligrapher.
That is correct. The horror novel Dracula is set in this region of Romania. Cleveland Heights. Excuse me?
Transylvania.
That is correct. This term refers to someone who draws maps. Revere.
Cartographer.
That is correct. This ancient Greek wrote comedies like The Birds and The Wasps. Revere.
Aristophanes.
That is correct. Abraham Lincoln issued this proclamation. Cleveland Heights.
Emancipation.
That is correct. You see shifting patterns of colored glass when you look through and rotate this. Revere.
A kaleidoscope.
That is correct. This Midwest city is home to the NFL Colts. Revere.
Indianapolis.
That is correct. For our final lightning round question, let's go to Vince Jeffries from the Akron Zoo.
With over 1,000 animals, the acclaimed Akron Zoo has been welcoming visitors since 1953. The country's very first zoo opened in 1874 in what largest Pennsylvania city?
Revere.
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia is correct. That's the end of our opening round. There you go. And we are on our way. We'll be back with more of the Nordson Academic Challenge Championship finale right after this. Welcome back to the Nordson Academic Challenge Championship finale. We're going to jump right back into the game now this morning with the hot picks round, one at a time. I ask each team 8 questions. A correct response in this round is worth 20 points. There's no penalty for a wrong answer. Any team answering all 8 questions correctly here will receive 25 bonus points. First up, the team from Cleveland Heights. And to pick your questions, we go to Cloverleaf's captain, Liam. Liam, as always, envelopes 1, 2, 3, or 4.
We're going to go with envelope 3.
3. Okie dokie. Cleveland Heights, all for you. Set? Here we go. The average adult American drinks at least 1 cup a day of what caffeinated beverage made from ground beans?
Coffee.
That is correct. Scientists have discovered brain-like circuits in the arms of what 8 tentacled sea creatures?
Octopus.
That is correct. Martha Washington must have had a sense of humor when she named her pet cat for what first Secretary of the Treasury?
Hamilton.
That is correct. Let's go to the monitor. Here's your science question. Rocks formed by the slow cooling of molten material make up about 95% of the Earth's crust and are known by which of these terms?
Igneous.
That is correct. 10,000 men and horses froze to death on the night of November 8, 1812, during Napoleon's retreat from what huge country that he had invaded earlier that year?
Russia.
That is correct. Please take the time to read Astrophysics for People in a Hurry, a book by what contemporary astrophysicist?
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
That is correct. We go back to the monitor. Here is your math question. What is the length of side X in feet if the area of the square is 100 square yards?
30.
30 is correct, and that was big. This is for the bonus points. The town of Niš in present-day Serbia was the birthplace of what Roman emperor who converted to Christianity in 312 AD after he allegedly saw a flaming cross in the sky?
Constantine.
Constantine is correct for the bonus points. There you go. All righty. Cloverleaf, it's that easy. All set? For your questions, Cloverleaf, we're going to go down to Revere's Captain Tate. Tate, we are left with envelope 1, 2, or 4?
4.
4. Cloverleaf, again, this is just for you. All set? Here we go. Explorer Henry Schoolcraft proved crafty enough to recognize Lake Itasca as the source of what longest U.S. river named the Father of Waters?
Mississippi.
That is correct. When it entered the Union in 1845, what Lone Star state was granted the right, if it wished, to split into 5 parts?
Texas.
Of course it is. The swivel chair was invented by what man who turned government policy around as our 3rd president?
Jefferson.
That is correct. Let's go to the monitor. Here's your science question. Which of these terms refers to an enzyme that digests starches?
Amylase.
That is correct. Playfulness, aggressiveness, and affection are a few of the personality traits exhibited by what apes, studied by Jane Goodall in Tanzania?
Chimpanzees.
Answer?
Gorilla.
Chimpanzees. Chimpanzees was the answer. R is for Rocket is a science fiction novel by what author whose reputation soared with books like The Martian Chronicles?
Bradbury.
That is correct. Let's go back to the monitor. Here's your math question. We ask you to state this expression as a trinomial.
X squared plus 18x plus 81.
That is correct. In a reaction against the bloody excesses that characterized the Reign of Terror during the French Revolution, what R-initialed Frenchman was himself executed in 1794?
Robespierre.
That is correct. Nice round, Cloverleaf. Okay. Our 3rd team this morning comes to us from Revere. For your questions, Revere, we come back down to Natalie from Cleveland Heights. Natalie, envelope 1 or 2?
1.
1. Lonely number 2 gets left again. All right, Revere, this is just for you. All set? Here we go. In 1893, sisters Mildred and Patty Hill wrote what still popular song that extends best wishes to you on your natal day?
Happy birthday.
That is correct. During the American Revolution, Mary Ludwig Hayes earned what 2-word nickname because she carried water to soldiers at the Battle of Monmouth? Answer?
Betsy Ross.
Molly Pitcher. Molly Pitcher is the answer. Okay. There was no credit card receipt when Faust sold what part of himself to the devil?
Soul.
That is correct. Let's go to the monitor. Here's your science question. The formation of dew in the morning is mainly attributed to which of these?
Condensation.
That is correct. Water and air pollution are old problems, but Iowa has state employees trained to detect pollution affecting what olfactory sense?
Smell.
That is correct. Things came together for what Irish poet who wrote Things Fall Apart, the Center Cannot Hold in his poem, The Second Coming?
Yeats.
That is correct. Back to the monitor. Here's your math question. Which of these numbers is evenly divisible by 4?
172.
That is correct. Some historians believe Lincoln's Gettysburg Address was influenced by a funeral oration given by what ancient statesman who led Athens during its golden age?
Pericles.
Pericles is correct for the answer there, and that's the end of our round. We are rolling. We'll be back with more academic excitement coming up right after this.
Levin.
Alrighty, today's judge, we've got the man himself, the president of Cuyahoga Community College. Please welcome Dr. Michael Baston. Dr. Baston, thanks, man. Thanks for being here. Thanks for your sponsorship of our show. Really quick, what do you need to say?
We believe in the power of the possible. These young people are the future, and we're proud as Tri-C to support them.
We're proud to have you here. Thank you so much for your sponsorship of the show.
Thank
Let's
you.
keep it going. Dr. Baston, way to go. All righty, let's keep it moving here. It's time now to go head-to-head once again. This is our picture-perfect round. Every correct answer here is worth 20 points, but for a wrong answer or no answer, we take away 20 points. Again, this is for all 3 teams, so please, hands on your buzzers. Eyes on the big monitor down front. All set? Here we go. Azurite The mineral displayed on this postage stamp is the carbonate of what metal whose atomic number is 29 and whose symbol, Revere?
Copper.
That is correct. This is London's Crystal Palace, which was destroyed by what same type of disaster that in 1666? Cloverleaf.
Fire.
That is correct. Because asparagus does not have to be planted each year, it is described with what 9-letter word, meaning it grows back every year? Cleveland Heights.
Perennial.
That is correct. Which of the angles here has a tangent of 1? Revere.
225.
That is correct. This is Matthew Maury, who charted what warm ocean stream that flows from Florida to Europe. Cleveland Heights.
The Gulf Stream.
That is correct. Some people believe natural baths like this have health benefits because of the presence of what non-metallic element with the symbol S? Revere.
Sulfur.
That is correct. These flowers are found near the home of what Chinese-American woman, the author of the Joy Luck Club? Revere.
Tan.
Amy Tan is correct. Seen here is the home issue of Cleveland Magazine, which brings to mind which series of policies in the 19th and 20th century America in which farmers could acquire ownership of public Cloverleaf.
Homestead Act.
That is correct, and that is the end of that round. We are rolling. Don't go anywhere. Our exciting grab bag round to determine this season's champion. That's coming up after, of course, we mix it up one more time. Stick around.
Models.
Welcome back to the Nordson Academic Challenge Championship Show. Time now to meet our advisors for our 3 teams. From Cleveland Heights, Cody Schell is here. From Cloverleaf, it's Stephen Glick and Andy Stevens. And from Revere, it's Nick Voss and Jeff Fry. Hey, thanks for being here. Thanks for bringing the kids. Couldn't do it without you. All right, time now for our Mix It Up round. One at a time, I'll ask each team 6 questions. A correct answer here is worth 20 points. There's no penalty here for a wrong answer. Any team answering all 6 questions correctly in this round receives 25 bonus points. First up, the team from Cleveland Heights. All set? Just for you. Here we go. As long as you're focused on Hawaii, see if you can find hidden here the name of what island on which Honolulu is located.
Oahu.
That is correct. No one would like to be considered ungainly because that would mean you would be which of these?
Clumsy.
That is correct. To name a Florida city and a section of the Pacific Ocean where a major World War II battle took place, add what kind of creature, the marine invertebrate that creates reefs?
Coral.
That is correct. This word can refer to a gathering of what sort of arachnids, such as Shelob in Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings?
Spiders.
That is correct. It made headlines all over the country in 1869 when which of these finally met near Promontory Point, Utah?
2 railroads.
2 railroads is correct. That was big. This is for the bonus points. You can complete this quote by filling in the blank with what geometric figure whose area can be determined by the formula area equals pi r squared.
Circle.
Circle is correct for the bonus points. There you go. All righty. Cloverleaf, you are next. All set?
Yep.
Here we go. You may find it amusing to find hidden in this phrase the name of what second longest African river?
Congo.
That is correct. A person who is venerable should be treated with which of these?
Respect.
That is correct. Fill in the blanks here to name what Central American country that was once part of Colombia?
Panama.
That is correct. This unfriendly word is sometimes used to describe a gathering of what sort of large black birds that identified Baltimore's NFL team?
Oriole. Okay.
Oh, wait, NFL. Ravens.
Ravens.
Ravens is correct. 2 of these countries are located in Africa, but which one is on the north coast of South America?
Guyana.
That is correct, and that was big. This is for the bonus points. This was the remark of one scientist after the detection of gravitational waves, something predicted by what physicist in his theory of relativity?
Einstein.
Einstein is correct for the bonus points. Okay. Revere, we're on a roll here. You ready? Here we go. Ninja pants. May be fashionable, but if you look carefully, you can find here the hidden name of what Asian country where ninjas originated.
Japan.
That is correct. If you worked at your studies assiduously, you'd be working in which of these ways?
Diligently.
That is correct. You can be more specific about it if you fill in the blanks to name what United Nations Council, whose 5 permanent members have veto power.
Security.
That is correct. You might be dazzled to know that dazzle is the name for a group of what African equine animals known for their black and white stripes.
Zebra.
That is correct. If you wanted a summer job with the National Park Service, you would apply to a cabinet department whose jurisdiction includes the Park Service.
Interior.
That is correct. Again, that was big. This is for the bonus points. To complete this statement from one writer, place in the blank space what's synonym for eyesight, a V-initialed word that is supposed to be 20/20.
Vision.
Vision is correct for the bonus points. Oh, perfect round. That's the end of that round. We'll be back with our final championship deciding grab bag round coming up after this. Welcome back to the Nordson Academic Challenge Championship finale. Before we continue, let's take a look at the scores as we head into our final round. In third place with 425 points, Cloverleaf. In second place with 530 points, Cleveland Heights. With 605 points leading the way right now is Revere. But hold on, anything can happen now. It's time for the grab bag round. In this free-for-all, each correct answer is worth 30 points. A team will lose 30 points for a wrong or no answer. Again, this is for all 3 teams, and it will decide this season's champion. All set? Here we go. To access Franklin Roosevelt's fireside chats in the 1930s, Americans turned on what communications? Cloverleaf.
Radio.
That is correct. When Henry Thoreau refused to pay his taxes, he was engaging in Cleveland Heights.
Civil disobedience.
That is correct. It wasn't until after the Bolshevik Revolution that Russians switched from the ancient Julian system to what Cleveland Heights?
Gregorian.
That is correct. These girls live near Asuncion, the capital of what Cleveland Heights?
Paraguay.
That is correct. What hawk-like bird used by hunters in the Middle Ages is now the mascot?
Falcon.
Cleveland Heights.
Falcon.
That is correct. Scientists say that bees have the ability to understand what numerical concept? Revere.
0.
0 is correct. The mythical Narcissus would enjoy visiting the Palace of Versailles, where he could admire Cloverleaf.
Mirror.
That is correct, the Hall of Mirrors. This question was raised by what British poet who wrote the love song of J. Alfred Revere?
T.S. Eliot.
Pardon me?
T.S. Eliot.
That is correct. Located in Virginia, what second oldest U.S. college was named for the 2 British Cleveland Heights?
William and Mary.
William and Mary is correct. It's thought that Saturn's moon Titan may hold tholins, the precursors of what acids that are the building blocks of Revere?
Amino acids.
That is correct. What author drew on his own military experience serving 2 years in Vietnam? Cleveland Heights. Answer.
O'Brien.
O'Brien is correct. Tim O'Brien is the answer. Let's go back to the monitor. These stamps honored what French brothers who demonstrated hot air balloons?
Montgolfier.
Montgolfier is correct. Cleveland Heights. The first wire suspension bridge across the Monongahela River was built by John Roebling, who later designed what major New York City bridge? Cloverleaf.
Brooklyn Bridge.
That is correct. Stone obelisks weighing more than 1,000 tons may be seen today near what massive Egyptian dam? Cloverleaf.
Suez.
The Aswan Dam. The Aswan Dam. What modern author hit just the right note with her novel On the Come Up about a teenage rapper? Cleveland Heights.
Thomas.
Angie Thomas is correct. What is the perimeter of a rhombus that has a side of 8.5 inches? Revere.
34.
34 inches is correct. Japan's highest, that's our buzzer, that's our game. Let's do this. In third place today, with 485 points, is the team from Cloverleaf. Congratulations. What do you have to say, man?
I would like to thank our coaches, Mr. Stevens and Mr. Glick, for all the support they've given us this year.
Awesome. And let's go back over here. Cecilia's got something for your advisor.
On behalf of Nordson, we'd like to congratulate you on your third place winning.
Thank you.
There you go. All righty. In second place today is our team from Revere with 725 points. Tate, congratulations. What do you have to say?
I'm very grateful for all the work that our team has put in this year. And I'd like to thank our coaches, Mr. Fry and Mr. Koss.
Congratulations. And let's go meet them right now with a little bit of money.
On behalf of Nordson, we'd like to congratulate you on your second place winner.
There you go. There you go. All righty. And we have been waiting for this. I don't have very far to walk, do I? The championship finale winner is the team from Cleveland Heights. Congratulations. Hey, Natalie, on behalf of your team, what do you have to say?
I'm just glad we all did so well. Pulled out some of those questions out of nowhere.
You're the champs, man. You're the champs. Let's go get some money. Hi, Cecilia.
Hi. On behalf of Nordson, we'd like to congratulate you on winning the season.
There you go. There you go. So, I'm going to talk to Cecilia one more time. On behalf of Nordson, what do you have to say about the 54th season of Academic Challenge?
This was an exciting one. I wasn't real sure how that would go, and we're happy to join in to come back next year.
Well, on behalf of everybody here and everybody watching at home, thank you so much for your sponsorship of our show, along with the good folks from Tri-C. Hey, that's it. Thank you so much for being a part of this championship season. Thanks for watching and help make this season of the Nordson Academic Challenge so darn exciting. We will be back next year. But for now, I am Rob Powers. Class dismissed. Come on down.